Oh boy, it's time for pain. It's time for a lot of pain. Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamek. This is day 49 of Lobotomy Corporation. I've never even gotten this far before. I usually end up seeing the first of the white ordeals and I think, you know what, I don't really need to see the rest of the game, I know what happens. But no, we're gonna do this. But usually I try to keep as many people alive as possible. That's not going to happen anymore. This is the one day that I'm going to be taking fatalities on. So, since we have the option to, let's talk about the people that have got us here. Cooper, our control team captain. Control team can be a bit neglected in this game, but we also were here to see Cooper fighting off a red fixer and a pale fixer at the same time. He earned his place as the captain of the entire facility. Halen, he's packing exuvates, a cannon, and he's also wearing the Burrowing Heaven armor. He has actually done a pretty useful job by keeping track of the Punishing Bird. He's part of the duo that keeps Punishing Bird from straying out of the control team branch of the facility so other people can do their jobs. Oddly, I don't have that much to talk about, unfortunately. Clearly, with that many gifts on him, he's done important things, but as it is, it kind of blends together. Nook's kind of the same story, I'm afraid. Over down here, for some reason Pansy is in the first slot, but River is the information team captain. And River has had very important things to do, such as fighting the third phase of the third Red Mist phase in yesterday's episode. That was pretty important, but more importantly is that River has the highest work success rate in the facility and has been used to win where other people would not be able to. Especially important for keeping the Queen of Hatred contained, even though there's a hard cap on how high a success rate can go. Maxwell, sorry we can't talk much about you, but since you do have Through the Twilight, so you must have had important things on you. Gabriella looks like new blood to me. The fact that you only have the Snow Queen gift, I mean, there's also the fact that some of these people don't feel like they've been here for that long. Yeah, you've only been here for 2 days. You're not even a veteran. Yumi is a very important training team captain in keeping all sorts of people going. The training team cycles through their agents so often, but not Yumi. Yumi has stayed here for 21 days. Not the highest number, but I'm presuming that if we look at Cooper, 23 days, yeah, I've been resetting whenever, they've been losing their spots whenever we've had core meltdown, so you can't trust everything you read. Igori is a frickin' tank. The safety captain is very important because they have the highest in SP and HP in the facility. The safety team captain gives them a bonus, and that bonus is important when dealing with HOD. Also, you've got the mimicry Da Capo combo going there. Kind of an important person. Archer feels like they've basically been sort of a backup justice to character. Relatively, they have resistances to any damage type. And clearly from the ego gift, I can tell that I have used them to train with the Judgment Bird. So that's important. Velasquez, you're weird because I feel like I could have been having you do cooler things, but you've already... I feel like I should have given you a white resistant armor at some point so you could top off your prudence with the blue star over there. But you're fine as is. Laverne feels like a newcomer. 2 days. But you do have the grinder glasses, so you have done something cool around here. For some reason, Mason is our central command team captain. And while I don't see you having done anything too fancy, I have given you adoration. And adoration is pretty important. Tatiana is another person wielding Black Swan armor and the Hypocrisy weapon. 28 days, let me check something. No, you both made it back at the same time. We've got Diva wearing Gold Rush here. You have been doing this for a while, so the fact that you only have you've only got one ego gift is just a case of me neglecting to train you up. Ah well, you made it this far. Gregory, another wielder of our Sword of the Stars. But you've also got that fancy bow tie, so I'm guessing that you had a lot of training with Scarecrow. Thick. I didn't mean to kick you out, Piper. So yeah, as I was saying, Piper doesn't even have the wings, so clearly you haven't done that much in the way of importance. You're sort of cannon fodder here, but you're here. Hannah has shown us a very important thing. Hannah has shown that you do not frick with the claw. That last HP stretch desperation attack deals pale damage, and even as someone who is neutral to pale damage, Hannah died. Hannah's job is mainly to hang around and have a censored wielder around censored, so that in emergencies we can respond immediately. It's only a 0.5 resistance to black damage, but it's still really good. Micah, I feel like I've mainly been trying to do something with, but you just haven't been getting the right gifts. You do give us an important nothing there agent though. Basil is the other punishing bird to babysitter. I can actually see that Basil has noise broach, which is unfortunate because that does give you a little bit of a penalty to your SP, but apparently not that much because you've got the helmet from Letitia, the gift from Snow Queen, and through the Twilight, it still gives you a positive in your SP. Unless the negative SP actually comes from wearing the noise suit. And Daphne is another seat filler. Something I actually need to remember to do. I need to look at every agent that we have and strengthen anyone whose fortitude is too low. Can you? No. You have to be under 100. Yeah, I think 5 is a nice number to stop at. That was weird. But yeah, anyone whose stats are a little too low, we're going to tweak them up, but we're also going to hire a lot more cannon fodder. We've saved up all the slub core points, we might as well use them. Ah, 100 on the dot is too much. So where was I? Daphne isn't that impressive. Summer. Summer as welfare team captain has been pretty important. And I lost the I actually did some ego organizing off screen, so now I've got to fix that. You are taking Ryul's Sound of Star armor. Ryul is taking your Justicia armor. Okay, so as I was saying, Summer's job is going to be Summer has high defenses because captain of welfare team. Summer has the most unfortunate job in today. Summer is going to have to tank Binah. It's going to be horrifying. I don't have the Paradise Lost armor, which means I don't have a way to deal with I don't have a way to tank Binah's attacks outright, which means that we have to go for a plan B. Sound of a Star being worn by Summer has the highest chance of surviving her attacks outright. There's one attack we can't tank in any way. Well, no. There's one attack that we can tank, but to do so would make us vulnerable to other types of attacks, and I just wouldn't be able to handle that, so Summer's job is to wear this. Summer gets a 20% bonus to their ego armor, which is nice. With 0.4 multipliers across the board, Sound of the Star has a decent chance of surviving any hit, especially with this decent fortitude number. If I thought about it, I probably would have also gone to raise up this SP as well, but it's too late now. The only thing we can't tank is Pale Fairy. Now, if I wanted to, I could go and give it the Night of Despair buff, and for a while I thought that's what I had to do, but then I realized this means that if Binah does choose to use Pale Fairy, it is an immediate reset for the day, because then I'll have to deal with a highly upset Night of Despair rushing around alongside everything else. We just can't do that. Because remember, Binah is immune to all abnormalities. Anyway, Evangeline... I feel like perhaps I should have given out better armor to these people, but oh well. Having a Hornet combo is pretty nice, and I can tell from your ego gifts that you have been doing a lot of busy work around here. Same as Harry. Mimicry and Green Stem looks like a pretty nasty combo here. Cedric is clearly new. I have to balance this out carefully. As much as I'd like to push everyone to 100, it strikes me that I won't have enough to get all my agents if I do that. Gonzalez, our disciplinary captain, wielding both sets of Twilight. It is tempting to move your kit down to our extraction team captain, but then I realized I don't want to put too many eggs in one basket here. Not even Twilight can take a full hit from Binah. Although... I would check, but I'm running the game as full screen, which means that if I tab out for anything, then you guys get to see my screen. So instead, let's open up my laptop calculator. Wait, no, it's Pale Resistance. Yeah, even the 0.5 multiplier isn't enough. But 0.3 multiplier makes you... Basically, my point is, I cannot put that on someone who I expect to have to fight Binah directly, because if they die, then it means the 3 birds getting out is an actual problem. And there is a very high chance of Big Bird and of... there's a big chance of Big Bird and Punishing Bird escaping, because A, a lot of deaths, and B, because a lot of works in rapid order. We just can't take those numbers. Sorry. But yeah, Gonzalez has shown me the power of Twilight, because I have gotten it before, but I've never actually used it in a playthrough. This is the sort of thing that lets you fight Amber Dusks solo. Whenever there's a problem, Gonzalez can be used to delete it. I think my biggest regret with Gonzalez, we never really gave you an awesome set of ego gifts. We just gave you what we picked up along the way. You were always more of our suppression master. I mean, heck, you've got Grinder Mark IV. I'm willing to bet that I picked that up so you could work with the Judgment Bird in dangerous situations. Angelina, you did work. You were actually important when we were suppressing we were suppressing Gabora. It's a shame that you've gotten that pipe there to lowers your power, your HP and SP, but Eden. I'm sorry that we put that on your face. Eden is a lesson in humility, because I always think, yeah, I put on the Capo armor, and then I put on Justicia, and you've got someone that can deal with the White Fixer. And I am constantly forgetting that Justicia deals... I keep forgetting about the Pale weakness. You don't play auto when you're dealing with the White Fixer. Marinelle is clearly new here. And now down to the bottom floor. Rhino! You've got a full adoration set, so you're clearly important. Although you don't have the adoration hair clip, I'm not sure I want to farm for it. Riol actually feels more suited to be the captain here, because look at that mess of ego gifts on you. You've got the hair clip from the Queen of Hatred, but you've also got the goggles from Diffraction variant, you've got Censored Eye Patch, you've got the Smoking Pipe, the Fragment of the Universe, and all of that. Well, we had to give away your armor to someone else, but don't worry, you've gotten something that's better. Joy and Quinn, the twins. I always feel like the Extraction and Records team should have people equipped with the Queen of Hatred weapon for how long range it is, and how it's just one corridor, one elevator, and one main department. I think they earned their keep here. Harold, I don't know, I feel like you're new. But I can't really tell because these departments aren't open for very long, can I? And Dia is new. Tim, Extraction Team Captain. I feel like you could have better here, but Lamp is still pretty cool. Hannah. Oh, you've clearly been getting into some scrapes here. That's some pretty nice fortitude stat you've got. We went over... Loki! Loki, I think, is the only person in the facility that currently has the Snow White's apple gift, so you have the Snow White's ego gear. Sorry. But I do know that it is pretty strong. Paul is new. Down here, Rogan. Hey, we can't deny, you did some important work with Binah, you did some important work with Gabora as well. Granted, you were also the cause of a reset, but you did important work. You cold-blooded pursuer, you. Dakota is weird because That was just a name I would put in as a custom name when I was playing the game way back when. I have to wonder if that name was actually added, or if they took names from the beta from commonly picked names that people would go for, or if that was just a name that they picked up and one that I also picked up by sheer coincidence. I don't know, Mimicry is still a pretty potent pick there. Nicholas, surely you're new, but I can't check. And Chilogana. I don't know, I usually don't go for names like that. So now we have one more step to take, and that is, we need to hire cannon fodder. Brooke. Gustafsson. Michaela. Adam. Ashley. Daniel. Morty. And now we give them out equipment. And preferably not weak equipment either. I think a double... So an important thing to keep in mind about all this, once we get through equipping all this, I mean, yes, they are going to be weak to Binah's big wide hitting attack. I'm not denying that. However, how come Frost Splinter actually has more weakness than Pleasure does? Anyway, I need to keep doing this. I only will have one copy of our Galaxy. That's unfortunate. Oh wait, war. There's still room for stuff in the war. I thought there were 4 copies of this weapon. It's definitely not good, but anyway, the point is that we have extra cannon fodder to try and beat Hokma's penalty. I don't expect these newbies to work miracles, but at very least, it lowers the odds of us losing someone like Gonzalez or Summer in a bad situation. That's all we can hope for, because this takes no prisoners. Although some people do call Day 47 harder. I have to remember, it is Meltdown 5 that will summon Binah. Which means, until that point, we have to kill as many... we have to massacre clerics quickly. But not so quickly that a White Ordeal can wipe them out. There's also a chance that Binah will spawn at the same time as White Noon. And in that case... Where is it? Backwards Clock. I looked. Backwards Clock does kill the Ordeals. It doesn't work on midnights, but we're not aiming for a midnight. We're aiming for a noon. Noon can die. And now, I don't know whether I can do this on my first try. I really don't know whether I can. The goal here is at least to get as far as I can. Actually, you come up here. In the case that we have to deal with the breakout from Melting Love, we can use that. Oh! Fairy Festival. Huh. Who's the other one that I had? This is so tense because my brain is going, you know, a single misstep and you end up pausing accidentally and kill someone. So then, from my estimates, we have to kill 10 clerks per meltdown level. So we're going to be deleting 2 departments worth each level. But failing that, we can fall off a little bit in case of preparation for the fixes. Listen, you. Skedaddle. Oh, I forgot to upgrade. Be right back. So yeah, as I was saying, something that might not have been clear, but they actually reduce the number of clerks you get during the final 5 days. You know what, I can go a floor without using up everything. But yeah, as I was saying, they reduce the number of clerks you get in the final 5 days, so it is actually possible to knock their numbers down just a smidge. It's time for my usual punishing bird pincing maneuver with 2 elevators. We mobilize you and you to here. Gonzalez, move. You know, one of you is the big bad wolf. You, there. Honestly, that kit isn't so bad. Do we have someone that deals a frick ton of black damage? I mean, technically yes. Your job is going to be dealing with this nonsense. You can come up here. I think next round down we have to take out Extraction Team, because if Queen Bee goes off, I want her to be hitting only the people that... Yeah, everyone here can handle it, but we don't want clerks going off because that'll snowball. You can travel to here, so should the time call for it, you can help out with Queen of Hatred. In an ideal world, Queen of Hatred won't get out, and she won't get upset, but this is not an ideal day. We have to prepare for the worst. Man, we just never use the old lady. She's okay for a starting Abno, and the gift is nice, but she is not someone you want to keep around for long periods of time. Okay, I feel like this is the point where we can actually start to do things. But we shouldn't have to worry about our starting stats, now should we? Is there someone that I want to give your buff to? Honestly, it'd probably be best as Cooper, because Cooper resists almost everything. And we shouldn't be seeing the Pale Fixer. I have to consciously keep my finger away from the spacebar. It's such a bad habit. Yep, old lady is very upset at us right about now. Yaku can go talk to the bird to push us into Meltdown Level 1. No speeding up. They will perish if Asarovia does not come to them, just as if the path I travelled was ridden with thorns. It was penance with no sight. Queen of Hatred? You are jerks. You are such jerks. Okay, next on the execution bullets. Extraction team. One, two, three, four, five. And though I knock out someone in safety, what group next? You increase all stats by 3, that's actually nice. You increase the bullet count by 3, that's important. Success rate, okay, think about it. I think I want to knock out someone in the middle layer, and unfortunately that seems to be welfare. The worst case scenario would be if disciplinary got... If Red Fixer spawns around here and then uses the sweeping laser to delete every other clerk that we have. But if I delete welfare, then it means that he won't be able to take out records and disciplinary, and that'll buy us a little bit of time. Okay, we are down red, we have 5, 10. Please give me my mouse back. Thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 30 clerks left. We should be able to do it, but we might need to knock out 15. Just leave those guys around. Okay, well, everyone gathered up. Yep, I think that's that. Oh, you're wandering over there because you've been assigned a different corner, right? Why is my brain going, wouldn't it be nice to get more ego gifts at this point? This isn't the time to do ego gift farming, you jackdaw. As long as we beat the day, we're good. Why didn't I upgrade your stats either? We're already too deep in. If I have to reset, then I'll upgrade your stats. You know what? There's nothing stopping me from just sending people to go clean the bird a few times, is there? I'm going to ignore the bear. Ignore the bear. I want nothing to do with the bear. We might have to deal with the bear later on, and I need to accept the fact that I'm going to have to deal with the bear later on. Which is why we're leaving anyone who could cause problems alone. We need to be able to just snap assign people to work with things if needed. For some reason, Maxwell has higher attachment stats. Huh. Okay, where's the problem? The problem is that I sent someone on the wrong side. And you're on the other side of the facility, so you can't do it. There we go, Odley. Get it off the screen, I need to see what I'm doing. What fixer is this? Red fixer. Red shield, red shield. Everyone run! I picked the wrong way! Michaela is dead. I couldn't tell which way he was facing. He got too close to us. Today will cost lives. All we can do is make them worth it in the long run. And now we need to spread everyone out again. Although, I think at this point... I wonder why Michaela is the one that died. Did I not boost their fortitude stat enough? Hang on, how come someone from the disciplinary team made it up here? I'm confused on that. I might have forgotten to fully tune up their fortitude stat, or it might have been that they just took a bit too much heat early on. Honestly, I'm surprised that Basil didn't die, but I think that Basil's massive fortitude stat did actually help out. It was either Basil or Halen that actually took a claw charge to the face and lived to tell the tale, so yeah, even if you have a weakness to a stat, you can still handle the worst of it. Now that said, I think they only took out a control team clerk, so we need to make more sacrifices for Queen of Hatred. Well, actually, no, not for Queen of Hatred, but because when Binah shows up, we do not want any reason for Big Bird to break loose. We'll have enough trouble keeping our people alive as is, so taking out as many clerks as we can is important. Information. I have usually been deleting disciplinary, but I don't care if Melting Love gets out today because we're going to have two powerful black wielders outside our cell, or two powerful black armor. I don't care if she gets out, and we get an attack speed boost. That might just make the difference. Summer's job is to take the deadliest attack known to this facility. Actually, could you skim down a floor? Thanks. It's kind of funny that Hannah is the one that we have assigned to Central Command to deal with Censored, and yet Hannah hasn't gotten the Censored glasses, but other people have? I need to organize all the people I expect to have to deal with attacking Binah right about now. The advantage that we have on this day over the actual core suppression for Binah is that we're allowed to move people about before she appears. So no one should be grouped up enough that she can actually mess them up. people can be assigned to rooms spread out enough that they don't have to worry about being double tapped by the spikes. Which is why I'm okay having some black weaknesses here and there. She might end up wiping out clerks, but clerks don't matter as of yet. You could probably be somewhere else. You resist black, you're fine. Let's spread these training department employees around a little bit. Diva can stay. We can make use of Diva. Gregory, go up there. I might need to get a few more agents down here just in case. Although no, she shouldn't be able to target down here for her meltdowns. In fact, if Binah wanders into this area, you could just lock her in with the rabbits and hope for the best. Still, I almost wish that this had been White Noon so I could guarantee it won't show up with Binah. It's possible to beat this day by making it to the end, even if you only have one agent left. You actually get enough lob points to hire a bunch of replacements, so you shouldn't be dealing with problems. You should be able to beat the game. Day 49 should be a victory lap. Surely with only 7 bullets left, we executed enough clerks. Okay, we need to spread this group out a lot. Hannah, I think I'm going to have to ask you to stay here because you can handle either of those guys. Wait, no. I have 2 Hannahs. Hannah of the extraction team and Hannah of the central command team. How did that happen? But anyway, between the 2... No, Adam can't do it. That's just too much risk. We need someone stronger. Micah can work here. And Evangeline can move over here. And Harry can go as well. Why split hairs? You move to down here where there's no clerks to get double tapped with. You actually have black resistance. I don't mind if you're in a cramped space with clerks around. Okay, now one final skim. Out of everyone that could trigger a meltdown, is anyone neglected? I feel like that's doing okay. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Angelina, come down here to help out with the extraction team setup. Between you and Igori, I think you... Igori has better all-around resistances and higher stats. I can Yumi is fine. Yumi can handle this all on their own. Yumi has been my King of Greed dealer with her for plenty of time now. Actually, you know what? I am going to move Cooper down to this department. Simply if I am only mildly worried about Binah turning around and firing this way. A single Pale Pillar actually shouldn't be enough to kill Cooper with Justicia, but I'd still rather be safe than sorry. Marinelle can... Marinelle can handle that. Funny thing is, even though that there's a white weakness here, I actually trust Harry to be able to avoid panicking. Famous last words for Harry. Gustafsson, maybe you should be somewhere else. Is there a place where you could be used? Yeah, you can actually come camp out the Scarecrow over here, I think. Heart of Aspiration. Okay, that's behavior adjustment. I don't need that. I don't know whether Heart of Aspiration will work for Gonzalez or not, but it can't hurt to give a little more protection to our Wielder of Twilight. Consciously not pressing that spacebar button. No, I don't want you getting out this early in the day. Where are the red lights? Where are the red lights? Keep the dog contained, keep the dog contained. Fortunately, Old Lady is very benign if you ignore her rules. All she does is kick them out immediately and give them slight white damage. At this point of the game, that's chump change to us. It could be problematic if there's something deadlier hanging around. Ah, game, why do you do me dirty like this? Why do you do me dirty? So we have to deal with the black fixer and the white fixer. Delete all the central command clerks. Hannah has to stay here. Okay, hang on, actually. Do we have a backup? I need someone with smile. Honestly, I think that... Where's River? I signed River to somewhere. Actually, there's an easier way to find River. So, Michaela did actually have 99 health. So it must have just been some spillover damage. Okay, there you are, River. I need River to hang around here, because if Hannah dies, River is our next best chance of surviving this, because Cooper's already taken the Night of Despair buff. We can't use Cooper. I'm going to have to look at stats again after this. I'm going to have to look at the numbers that I have that tell me what the dying damage dealt by the red fixer is, just to see if I got unlucky with the damage range, or if it was just Michaela being the one that was taking the single target damage and so didn't have that much health left. I almost feel like Eden maybe should also be on the Binah kill time. I don't know how many I need to assign to killing Binah. Binah's health might be down a lot lower, but that doesn't change that we're still having to... We need to kill her ASAP. Actually, speaking of which, we need to keep winding this. Evangeline, go up a floor. No. Like this, I think. Dia will be our sacrifice. Backwards clock is primed. Now it's a matter of walking backwards into hell. Hang on, there are still Central Command clerks that we need to deal with. I don't think the Central Command buff will interfere with Binah's meltdowns, and that's what we're going to have to worry about. Mostly, I think the fixer. We have to keep in mind that the Black Fixer will spawn his own countdowns on death, but I think because it will be hopefully killing them off with backwards clock, that'll be what we worry about instead. I am nervous. I am freaking nervous. Evangeline deserves so much better with stats like that. One down, one more, and we trigger the fight. We start this. Okay, you have pretty good black resistance. I think you'll be safe to send for Punishing Bird. But we have to make sure that we finish every work before we start that, because you need to be able to react. This is the worst case scenario. You try to be over here, please. Ashley is dead. Okay. We have to make this count. Notes from a researcher. Mason, take that. Melting Love. Repression work. It's low, but you have black armor, you can take it. White Fixer, frick. I mean, we already knew who was going to be involved here, didn't we? We're just going to try and rush through these phases as fast as we can. That way we'll get to use the clock to immediately delete them. Between the two, I think Marinelle means less. Oh, wait. I think I missed this shot because there's screen distortion throwing me off. Yeah. Maybe I really should have executed more clerks last wave so we wouldn't have to worry on this one. Mirror of adjustment, huh? Keep them contained at all costs. Okay, I see the black fixer down there. I don't know whether Yumi can do this alone, but let's just throw you a tiny bit more help. Yeah, this is what I was slightly afraid of. I can't really click and drag you as you are, so let's go for the direct selection instead. River, rush up here. Red Fairy. Okay, that is actually survivable. Attack, but also insight work between the three of you. No. Go here. Attack. Respond to the meltdown with gold. Angelina is the fastest. We all rush down there. Paul, you are not surviving that. Mason might be able to come help, but I would rather not move with the... I get the feeling you'll be very fast getting here. Oh, that's Red Pillar. The Sandman calls you. Indeed. Please tell me I got all the meltdowns. Nox is dead. That was a mistake. But there's a wind-up time on backwards clock and she's about to start her next attack pattern. Collapse. And she's down. Armaments is down. Igori is dead. Loki is dead. Dia is dead, but that's probably from... yeah. Okay, you turn around and go deal with that. We have to deal with this meltdown of pillars ASAP. Joy, get on that. Harry. Yeah, do the closest rather than what we have. Attachment work here. You're alone here. Gregory is in a panic. I think that's a murder type panic. Execution bullet. Oh boy. It went to what? It went to Melting Love. We can't get to her yet. Piper, go help out there. Tim, you too. I have to be ready to click the meltdown of pillars right away. Yumi, get to Teresia. I have to remember to click you out of it. Mirror of adjustment again. Laverne, your job. Actually, wait. We lost our safety team captain, but it's not the end of the world. Daniel, almost dead. Ashley is dead, but that's why you're here. Eden. Disciplinaries Eden is out. And is carrying the pale weapon. We cannot afford you to be panicked. Where did I assign you? River. Oh, why is this thing still up? I don't like it being up. Please make it go down. Sorry. It was Malcolm's lesson, wasn't it? Don't look away and say there was nothing to be done, except that these things happen. Actually, Morty, how healthy are you feeling? I don't even remember where Morty works. I guess Dakota can come get involved as well. I'm just going to assign Quinn to Snow White's apple to buy us any time that we can. Big Bird is getting upset. Nicholas, go attachment work. I need to find Eden. We can't unpause until I've dealt with Eden because Eden's weapon is too dangerous to leave. Eden is a justice type. I feel like that's actually something we can ignore. If it was murder, I'd be more worried, but justice is something handleable. 6 seconds. Ugh. Leave. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it! Okay, she's been stunned, but it won't last for long. She's been knocked out of the attack is what I mean. You two get involved here too. Real? Fuck! Pale Fairy! hands! The hands are loose. I fucked up. We were so close. But she chose Pale Fairy when we weren't ready for it, and I couldn't get everyone out of the way in time. This is our last hope. Yeah, I think this is done. Well, I'll see you when I make it back to Binah's phase, and hopefully... Okay, the thing that we found out, this is a learning experience. We did not have the firepower. We need to assign more people to striking down Binah so she doesn't get a chance to get back up. Okay, here we are again. I think what happened last time was a combination of not having enough DPS and just getting unlucky. I've made a few adjustments to compensate. First of all, Hannah has been moved over here. She has the Knife to Spare Blessing and Mimicry, and she's standing outside Punishing Bird's corridor. I think you know what Hannah's job is. I've crunched the numbers, even at maximum damage. Punishing Bird alone cannot kill Hannah. Now, it's always possible that Hannah might get hit by a spike, which is why she's in a decently wide corridor at the moment. But if it comes down to it, I am willing to bite the bullet and accept that, even if it does mean that Knight of Despair is going to get out and make things complicated. If I need someone to actually work with Punishing Bird, and I will have someone working with Punishing Bird, Diva can do the job. Now here's the slight problem. I do not want Punishing Bird to be at 3 or 2. So we're going to just keep ducking in and out of Teresia over here to trick Punishing Bird into leaving. Obviously I'm not going to have the crunch happen now, but... actually no, you back out. Where is... who's it? Where's my Red Week people? Halen, go up here. You can be the one to sate the bird, but point is, I cannot afford to have Big Bird and Punishing Bird out at the same time, because that's what screwed me last time. If Binah had rolled anything else, yes, it probably would have killed people and triggered Second Trumpet, but that wouldn't have cost us the run. Because while Twilight is active, they cannot summon Big Bird. The thing that screwed us was that she chose to roll Pale Fairy, and Chesad's safety measures didn't kick in for Gonzalez, which meant that the birds were out to trigger Third Trumpet. And trying to lock down the area didn't work out because then Binah placed her meltdowns on the areas we didn't want them in. I've moved way more Aleph gear into close proximity. We also have Mason, if the time calls for it. I think Mason is going to have the job of keeping Melting Love in check. Yeah, I think Basil might actually be on the kill team to give out extra damage to red weaponry, but that's not the point right now. Censored isn't a great weapon offensively, so I'm fine with the... Okay, we're good. But I'm fine with leaving that around Censored itself. Gear shouldn't factor into things that much. Or armor, it's mainly about the weapons. The other change that I made was Laverne. I actually increased Laverne's temperance. I strengthened Laverne's temperance so that now we have 3 people in close proximity to Blue Star. If I get obscenely unlucky, I can still make it. Michaela is not going to be able to work with Blue Star in a bad situation, which is unfortunate. Velasquez, we can call them in. And we can call in Diva. In fact, Diva is probably the one that we need to rush in. All of the cannon fodder are sitting in main departments because I noticed that was what nearly killed one of our agents purely through spike damage. So they're sticking in the main departments of each place, and that'll give them extra healing. Micah can stay where it is, just in case we get unlucky and 2 people get spiked. If it comes down to it, we might have to hit sacrifice for the first time ever. But yeah, Laverne has always had Laverne has always been in a good position to actually take Blue Star. It's just that the temperance was slightly low, and I wasn't sure whether I could trust those stats to stay up. We have no clerks. Breaches can only happen from agent deaths. As much as I would have liked to have the extra attack speed, with the risk of Melting Love breaching, or with the Binah deciding to cull them, I don't know, I just feel better not having the clerks around. We don't know how defensive we're going to have to play things here. So, Diva. The last change I've made, Oddly is starting in the elevator so I can rush them in, and Binah will not throw a pillar to the right. 1. Someone is panicking from this. Gabriella, I'm sorry, you're a worthy sacrifice. Okay, you get involved in that. I want to keep Adoration on the field, so I think Dakota's job. Dakota and Angelina there. I don't know whether they can... Okay, so this is going to count down the funeral of dead butterflies by 1, but that's okay. 1 isn't a breach. I feel like they can actually handle Scarecrow alone because they have decent black resistance, and they have black weapons. Make sure to get Gregory out. Now, where did I sign Gabriella? To the horizon of knowledge beyond understanding. I think you might actually be able to handle the King of Greed, but is there someone better? The important point here is that we cannot delay. We need to clear these meltdowns immediately. I'm willing to leave this meltdown on Old Lady because she's not able to break out on her own. And I think it also keeps Binah from putting a second meltdown on it. Whereas if I let... where am I going with this? If I clear it off, then she becomes vulnerable to meltdowns again, and Nox will be stunned, so we won't be able to rush in and do something about it. Okay, that is black, so we can actually rush in for this one. We might end up losing a few lives here. Huh. Yumi actually has stupidly high temperance. I could almost believe Yumi could break through the meltdown of gold. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay, have we tackled everything? I really shouldn't be trying to save Gabriella. I really shouldn't. Especially when there's always the possibility of the barb. Black Pillar. Gabriella has been thrown into a panic. Why are you telling me about this now? Get out of the shelter. Okay, River. Rhino. We're in trouble. Oh, damn it. I was supposed to send someone to the backwards clock immediately. It has a delay. I think that might be what cost me last time. Okay, Gabriella is back on the track at least. It would be Hannah, wouldn't it? Which should mean the Knight of Despair should be very upset for some reason, and isn't. Ah, right. I never moved Hannah back, did I? I think we've already lost because I forgot that I've never used backwards clock before, and I don't know about the winding time. I didn't know how long it takes for it to finish winding. Black shield. You're the closest. Maybe you'll get lucky. I doubt it, but maybe we'll get lucky. Actually, let's give you a black shield as well. You might get off those spikes in time, but you might not. You're the one here with Vov armor. For some reason I can't get this meltdown of waves cleared. Hannah is in a panic. Why did I forget? Fuck. She keeps throwing them onto things that we've already got. Okay, you start unwinding that. Emmanuel, get on this. Or Imeyaku. Diva, Bird. Blue Star. We've got too many things landing on Meltdown. We've got too many things landing on places that we can't use them. Rogan is dead. Pansy is dead. Oh, good. Execute Hannah. Hannah go to Censored. Cooper go to Summoner. Is anyone else in need? You're about to reach there, so that's okay for you. Blue Star. Okay, Blue Star, Censored, nothing there are all the things that we need to tackle. We've lost one, be careful, comrade down! Yeah, Rogan is our central captain. Your job is to go work with the big bird. We might not hit. This might end before we can do anything about it, but it might not. We cannot keep losing. See, if I had remembered to use backwards clock earlier, if I had used backwards clock on my first pause, then I wouldn't have needed the second pause. Also, the cell is empty now. Laverne, it's all up to you. Cooper. Hannah. Laverne. We nearly have it. It looks like something went wrong with Little Prince. We did it! So, I would not call this a first try. I wouldn't call this a second try. I actually did a run off screen, but then I realized it was really late at night, so I decided to call it in for the day before I even got to Binah. I did actually get White Fixer that time, and I had a really clean run against the White Fixer, but I also had a really clean run against the Red Fixer this time. We lost 8 people to this, but we got through it. I can finally beat Lobotomy Corporation. Okay, so this is my warning for anyone who cares about plot to get out, because we are going to be showing this next cutscene. I've probably put up a warning timestamp. But yeah, a B rank. Apparently it is possible to do it by reaching midnight with enough energy, but I don't see that happening because you still have to deal with Binah wandering around all day. And if you lock her in the basement with the rabbits, because that area cannot melt down, I still don't really see it working out. Because she's still throwing meltdowns around in her spikes and all that nonsense. I'm sure it's doable, it's just not something I see happening. Anyway, please leave if you want to experience the story for yourself. Day 50. We have finished the Seed of Light and gained the Knowing. So, you've met your reflections, the pieces of the mirror? They must have tried to stop you because their own tomorrows are not on the horizon. But you gave up the path to stay in those yesterdays with them. And now, we finally meet here today. You must have realized that as well, seeing as you've made it to this point without hesitation. I had known for a very long time that we all lost our hearts. I knew, and I didn't do anything about it. I'm sure many others were the same way. That's what makes Carmen different from us. Instead of turning away, she wanted to save them and guide their souls back. Everyone gets a nice portrait except Binah's, which is horribly smudged. Are we really surprised? She was the one who made the noble decision to dedicate herself to save humanity. Yet I, who held no such ambition, had to continue her legacy. Ironic, isn't it? Maybe I was not the right man for the job. As you can see, we've become just like the other wings, committing atrocities just like them. The employees here have repeated hundreds upon hundreds upon thousands of deaths. My friends were robbed of their lives and trapped in this cycle of agony. All the while, I just sat and watched, justifying it all as the means to realize her ideal. This sin shall never be forgiven. Nonetheless, we must finish this. If these wrongdoings can finally cut this vicious cycle once and for all, I will gladly take this burden upon myself. Our mission is to simply seed the people's hearts. Every single person has their own right. In the light, they create their own stories and lay down the roots of their existence in it. We are merely there to sow the seeds. It's up to the people to bloom it in their own ways. What about us, you ask? Unfortunately, we won't be able to see what kind of forest will grow. Besides, we still have one last thing to do. It is something we have done countless times. It is time to manage the abnormalities. You'll make it. I know you will. Come now. This will be our final day at work as the manager. Would you like to expand architecture? I've never gotten this far before. This has been quite a trial. We have one more place. So then we started the day completely filled up. We lost our head of architecture. Summer survived. Summer had the job of taking the fight directly to Binah, and Summer survived. Hannah survived. Hannah didn't. Hannah's job was to get eaten by a bird, but didn't get eaten by a bird. Instead, we had to shoot her. Igori actually survived. We lost one of our training super agent. We lost one of our training originals. But Yumi is still here. Halen, you're still here? That's impressive. Laverne, your work with Blue Star was impeccable. Basil, another OG. I'm surprised that Xiong survived. That was a surprise. But yeah, it looks like most of our hits didn't actually land on the cannon fodder. Well, yeah, Hannah wasn't here, can he? Yeah, we actually got really unlucky with Hokma only targeting the actually important agents. But he didn't hit Gonzalez and he didn't hit Summer. And I feel like those two were the most critical to keep in check. To keep around, I mean. Cooper and Hannah did excellent work with Nothing There and Censored. That was fantastic. But yeah, next time we beat the game. Until then guys, take care. I'll see you all around.